Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over what kind of school bus brand is my favorite. So we got IC, Bluebird, Flatnose, Bluebird, and Thomas. So I want to tell you guys, first off, actually, if you are new to the channel, please drop a subscribe. It would mean a lot. But first off, I'm going to tell you guys what kind of bus I grew up on because it's typical for a bus enthusiast to be biased based off of what school bus they grew up on. They're just going to say, oh, that's the best because they grew up on it. It's nostalgic. For me, growing up, it was always the flat nose Bluebirds that look like this, or the A3, which is the older style of the Bluebird All American flat nose front engine. Not only that, but I also grew up riding these Bluebird Visions. Not these new ones. It was like the second gen Bluebird Visions from like 2008 to 2012. These are pictures from my district. So um, when I was younger, they never had the black hood or the updated grille or the updated roof cap. They just looked like basic Bluebird school buses. I actually rode on the sibling bus of this bus. I rode on 102. So I'm a little biased towards the flats. So I'm a little biased towards the flat nose buses because it's what I grew up on. And I've heard from drivers they have really good turning radiuses. They don't have the big hood sticking out in the front. That is basically just a bunch of dead weight. So there's a pro and a con to driving either in a conventional school bus like this or driving a flat nose bus. So with a flat nose bus, yes, you do get better turning radiuses. If you're turning and there's a sidewalk, if you're turning left onto a street and there's a sidewalk on your right on the road you just turned on, there's a little leeway to be able to put the front of the bus over the sidewalk so you can make a little wider turn. With a conventional bus, you got the front wheels in front of you and you got all the weight in front of you. That being said, making turns may be a little tougher. These buses, the conventional buses, are better in the snow um, than the flat nose bus because it has the weight in front of you. Not only that, guys, but if you ride a conventional bus like this, you won't have a bouncy ride. If you're driving a flat nose school bus, all the weight is behind you. So any bumps that you're going over, you'll feel it in the front. Especially when you're driving, all of a sudden you'll be driving up and down, up and down, up and down. So for me, I like the flat nose buses, better turning radius. But as far as other bus brands go, we got IC International, Bluebird, and then Thomas. Recently, my school district switched to Thomas, diesel Cummins. For a while, we were getting these Bluebirds right here in Godzilla V8 gas, but we've been getting problems with these buses. A lot of them have been recalled. We've had transmissions go in the Bluebird Visions. The bodies haven't been as quality based as they once were back in the early 2000s. And as far as international goes, I will say this right now. I think the new third gen CEs, I think they look the best. I mean, the way the hood goes down and the LED headlights. I specifically like the buses with the black hoods and black grille. I think that just looks really nice. Um, I think they should have went with black warning lights though, and go away with the air horn. But to each their own. So I think these look the nicest, and not only that, but they uh, they revamped the gasoline option. and they got a Cummins gas engine now in these. It's either this year or next year they're going to actually start putting them in, or they've already started putting them in there already. I'm not sure, but I enjoy the CEs. The only downside is the new cockpit area. It just seems a little not cramped, but a lot going on at once. There's so many switches on your left, and there's so many switches on your right. Narrow it down. You don't need all those switches. Um, it's a little overwhelming for me. I do like the white roof on this one. Now the Bluebirds, these these look good. They still look good, but Bluebird has basically maintained the classic look. You have a two-piece front windshield design. Um, they only recently updated the roof cap to look modern. And it's just the roof cap off of the flat nose buses that Bluebird makes. If you can see, they're basically the same thing. Um, they drive good, but it just seems like a lot of districts are getting them in gas variants now. And if they want a diesel, they're usually just going for Thomas or International. Um, so to rate the modern day Bluebird, so far I would put it as number one because I grew up with them. I still prefer the flat nose Bluebird buses. I think these look great. Someone told me it looks like the Bumblebee Transformer, but these are very rare. Not many districts get them. But I'll tell you what, once you're in a flat nose bus, it's really fun because you get to hear the engine next to the driver. Um, but yeah, Thomas hasn't they have never really changed in the last 20 years. I would say 20 years ago they looked very futuristic. Some people would call them ugly. A lot of people think this bus in particular looks ugly, the Thomas built buses. But the way my districts they switched to the Thomas this year because of bad quality in Bluebird. Um, Bluebird, I will say, is not like how it used to be. Bluebird used to be very reliable. Their bus body was one of the most reliable kind of buses. Now my district is finding out the roofs are leaking, um, problems with the powertrain, which I can't really say is Bluebird's fault. I mean, people are buying them in gas motors. Gas motors and transmissions in a school bus won't last as long. Think about it. It's like a truck with a. It's basically a truck engine with a trailer hooked up to it at all times. That's all. That's all what these buses are. Like say gas engines. Um, I think the Thomas bus with the Cummins. As of today, I think they're just reliable. They've made them for a very long time, and they know they don't have to change much on it because if it's not broke, why fix it? So I think Thomas is probably. I'll be honest. Even though my district switched to Thomas and the interior looks a lot nicer, I still would probably rate it second um, of my favorite. Um, Actually third. So basically, I like the flat nose buses the most. Um, Specifically the Bluebirds. I wouldn't get an ICRE or IC whatever. I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't get a flat nose Thomas either. I just like the Bluebird flat nose buses. My district has had them for a long time. They've always been reliable. They have actually been keeping them longer than some of the gasoline visions they have because the drivers just prefer them, and I can't blame them. So as you can see, my district is based off of New York. Uh, but so this is my favorite. Um, this is my second favorite. So okay, flat nose Bluebirds, the All American T3s are my favorite. Then probably the A3s. Then probably the Visions. Then probably Thomas, just because it's a lot simpler in the cockpit. I do think the CEs look the best. However, I just prefer the interior of the Thomas versus IC because it doesn't you don't get overwhelmed when sitting in the cockpit. Some people like having all those switches and buttons, but the fact is that these the international the CEs come from I think like the of the truck design, which there's going to be a lot more buttons in a truck, so there's a lot extra cockpit area. But that's the same case with Thomas. I just think they've mastered making it look minimal inside. So, like I said, my favorite are the flat nose Bluebirds. I love the fact that you can put on your exhaust brake and the engine is sitting right next to you. So when you slow down, you hear that turbo slowing down by itself, and then you hear it take off. It's just I really like the sound. Um, you can fit more seats in them. They're shorter than a conventional. Um, don't get me wrong, I do like the conventional Bluebirds. It's just I like these. Um, but then again, these Bluebirds with the Godzilla, they sound so freaking good. And the CEs with the gas motors, they sound good too. I love the exhaust note on the Bluebirds. But my favorite probably starts from Bluebird, flat nose Bluebird with the front engine. I can't stand the rear engine buses because you can't hear the engine. Starts with these, then the Visions because I love the exhaust note. I don't care if they don't last as long, but when you get these with the Godzilla engine, it just sounds so good. More so the Triton. I feel like the Triton has more of an exhaust note. Goes so this is my number one favorite. This is two. My third favorite are the Thomases now. It's just I like the interior. It's simple. And then fourth would be CEs. Um, I really have high hopes for the Cummins 6.7 gas motor they're going to be putting in. I think it's called the Octane motor. They're going to be putting in CEs. Aesthetically, I think the outerior of the CEs look the best. And you're still even able to put the bus number on the side of it. I know Thomas went away with that just because of the design. You can't really fit a bus number on that on the sides. But yeah, guys. All right, guys. Tell me what bus brand is your favorite? IC, Bluebird, or Thomas? I'm not gonna lie. I think my favorite is still Bluebird, but to each their own. If you guys are new to the channel and want to watch and want to get more school bus videos, please drop a big like on this video. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. Turn on post notifications to never miss out on a brand new video on the channel. Thanks guys for watching. It's been real. It's been Alex. Peace out.